That is right. In this video, we're going to take a look at 5 clubs in Honduras where you can pick up some very, very good footballers because basically nobody seems to sign players from Honduras unless you're Wigan for some reason. They've had 5 players from Honduras. Anyway, let's jump to Club 1. CD Olimpia, or Olimpia brackets HON if you're trying to search for them, are probably the biggest club in Honduras if I'm not mistaken. Also, they are the club where I believe Wigan signed most of their Honduran footballers. Let's take a look to see what they've done. So over the course of 5 seasons, Olimpia have only managed to produce a total of 16 players, which is not a lot. However, because the Honduras League doesn't exist in game, all we are doing is loading every single Honduran player with the hope that they might actually produce somebody. Jose Hernandez is one of the better players. He has 121 potential. He's got 102 current ability. He's also got 7 caps and 2 goals for the Honduran national side, worth potentially £700,000. So probably a bit on the steep side. That's probably based down to his current ability. Next up, we have 15-year-old Mark Figueira, who has 122 potential ability. He's also part American, and at 15 years of age, for £140,000 top end, he doesn't look particularly bad at all, does he? Luis Montoya has 129 potential ability, and he's already got 4 caps for the Honduras national side, and he's only got 84 current ability as well. So he's got a long, long way to go. At 17 and he's got 4 caps, he could end up with 100 caps at the end of this save. We also have 17-year-old left-back Wilbur Zeladon. He has 133 potential ability, so we're moving into the realms of players who could do a job at most Premier League sides. Obviously, probably not first team at your Man Cities, but he can certainly play first team probably for Everton, let's be honest. And finally, we have Elmer Rivas, who is 15 years of age, has 138 potential ability. He is not the best player, though, that Olimpia Honduras have produced. They actually managed to make another guy with 140 potential, and that is Raul Martinez. Now, every single one of these saves or these simulations, bar one, so I've done 5 simulations, 4 of them have produced at least 1 player with 135 potential or higher, so Olimpia Honduras are always worth checking out. Now, Marathon are not going to be producing quality players every single time, but they do seem to get some reasonably good players. They get a lot of players as well with potential between 110 and 120, which isn't amazing, but depending on the club you are, that could actually tick a few boxes for you. In this save alone, for example, they have Juan Carlos Izaguirre, who has 111 potential ability. He's one of 5 players with 110 to 119 potential ability, but they do have some better players as well. With 128 potential ability, we have Oscar Escalante at 19 years of age, a right back, maybe a centre back, maybe a right winger, already with 6 caps to his name. With 130 potential and actually 121 current ability, we have Marco Tulio Espinal, who is 18 years of age, 12 caps, 2 goals, now playing for Porto B. I mean, almost Porto, for £325,000. So, he's not been particularly expensive either, and obviously, he's good. He's good enough now to play for the Honduras national side. But the best player to come through from the marathon intakes in this simulation is Oscar Cruz. He has 143 potential ability. He is, I believe, maybe the 3rd best player through any of these simulations from any of the clubs that we are taking a look at. The best and 2nd best player to ever come through these youth intakes has come from Montugua, and they have managed to produce a player who will literally be world class. He is one of the best players that has come through in any of these Wonderkid clubs videos. He has 180 potential, but they've also managed to produce a total of 3 players with 120 to 129 potential as well, which isn't amazing, but it's still pretty good. Carlos Ruiz has 124 potential ability, central midfielder, looks quite good, also quite cheap. George Maldonado has 128 potential ability, and he actually looks really good now. I'm doing a few different saves on the channel, and I want to sign this man for my Building a Nation save in Romania. Also with 128 potential ability, we have Arnold Guiti, who is a 16-year-old Honduran central defender. He's 6'2", so he ticks the box for me for a big tall centre-back. But the best player is Diego Rodriguez. He has 106 current ability at 17 years of age. He has 180 potential ability, and already, when you look at his first touch, his passing, mental numbers are actually pretty good. Bravery and decisions pretty high there. Physically also looks pretty good. He's 5'5", so he's never winning a header, but that's not the position you're going to be playing him in, is it? Let's be honest. Diego Rodriguez will be a world-class footballer. Just to put it into perspective, there are 12,039 players in this save. I have highlighted all of the players with 181 potential, which includes players like Thibaut Courtois, who's obviously very old. There are only 30 players with a higher potential than him in the game. he's going to be ridiculous. He is going to be as good as Martin Odegaard. He's going to be that good. Moving away from superstars, but still looking at clubs who can possibly produce them, we have Platense, might be what they're called. They seem to produce 1 or 2 players with 130 potential or higher every few seasons, but most of their youth intake seems to be 110 to 120, with the occasional player who's basically going to be good enough for the Premier League. We've got players like Andrew Jacobs, who is actually horrendous at the moment with his 45 current ability, but he does have 119 potential ability. He's also part American. The second of 3 players with 119 potential ability is Dennis Sanchez, slightly better than the last guy, but still not amazing. Luis Sarcamo is the final one with 119 potential. He has 79 current ability as well, so he looks quite good. He's not massively expensive either. 119 potential should be good enough for sort of a lower-end championship side, in my opinion. But the best player to come through Platense has been Oscar Cabrera. He has 134 potential ability. He's already picked up his first cap for the Honduras national side as well. He's worth £120,000, and that is all. And he's only got 11 months left on his contract. Pretty much, you can buy this man on a free by the time he turns 20. In another save as well, Christopher Martinez, who's 20 years of age, he's actually moved on to Vida, has 127 potential ability, so they do seem to produce some half-decent players kind of occasionally. It's worth checking out. Another team that we're going to very quickly take a look at is Atletico Municipal with their fake Liverpool badge. I don't know why they have a fake Liverpool badge, but there we are. They have got some half-decent facilities. When it comes to the clubs in Honduras, Atletico Municipal, I think, are one of the better kind of youth recruitment clubs, but they don't seem to produce a huge amount of players. They do get the occasional player with sort of 120 potential maximum, but that's it. But yeah, Atletico Municipal, worth taking a look at. And finally, in a similar vein to Atletico Municipal, we have Atletico Limeño, who have also got some pretty decent youth facilities. They're also in the lower leagues. If we take a very quick look at the club details and jump over to facilities, it's not going to look that impressive, but they have 12 youth recruitment, 9 junior coaching, 6 youth facilities, which sounds really bad, but this is in Honduras. Not many other clubs have got numbers in double figures anyway. To have 12 youth recruitment is actually very good. 9 junior coaching is also very good. The facilities might be on the lower end of the scale, but they've got the recruitment. That's the big one, really. They have got the kind of the catchment area to pick up some decent players. They don't do it often, but they do occasionally pick up some good players. Francisco Mendoza has 112 potential ability. It's not amazing, is it? It's not going to be world-breaking, but it is probably going to be good enough to play for the Honduras national side. We also have Brian Martinez, who has 127 potential ability and a current ability of 97, and he is probably on the verges of the Honduras national side. Arguably should not be playing for this team anymore. Clearly too good for them. In a different simulation as well, Limeño managed to produce Angel Diaz, who has 122 potential ability. So they kind of do get these players occasionally, not every season. But yeah, you know, it's worth taking a look at, especially if you're kind of doing like maybe a building a nation save in a country that doesn't have particularly tight work permit rules. Some of these clubs are really worth checking out. Or maybe you are doing a building a nation in Europe and you want to pick up some very good Belgian footballers. If that is the case, check out the video on screen where I take a look at a whole bunch of clubs in Belgium that aren't Bruges, Anderlecht and the big guns, and you can see what kind of players you can get from some of the smaller clubs in the country.